Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am finally sharing my Kinder Bueno cookies. They are so good and delicious. You guys will love this recipe. I actually made these a while ago and I just completely forgot to post the recipe on YouTube. I just know that you guys are going to absolutely love this. They are so delicious. You have Kinder pieces inside, melted Kinder Bueno on top. It's just sensational and it is actually best served warm. Let's get right into the recipe. So you're going to start off with some cold unsalted butter. I always cut my butter up into small cubes and then place it inside a stand mixer. I always like to use a stand mixer when I'm making cookies. It just makes sure everything is so much more combined and it also stops your arm from falling off, which is always a plus. This mixer is from a company called Houseware. I will link it for you in the description box below, so make sure you definitely check it out. They are on Amazon. Once my butter has combined in the hand mixer, I always scrape the sides of the bowl to ensure that everything mixes evenly, and then I start to add in my sugars. So I'm adding in some white granulated sugar alongside some light brown sugar, and again I am going to cream this on a very low speed and then gradually increase the speed until you get a really nice creamy texture. I'm actually so tempted to make Kinder Bueno crumble cookies because crumble has been everywhere, and honestly I'm so upset that you cannot get this in the UK, but I really hope they come soon to the UK because that will be the best thing ever. But yeah, as you can see, the sugar is combined so well and that is exactly how you want it to look. Next I'm going to add in some eggs, and I am using a total of 2 eggs for this recipe. Add it into your stand mixer, start off on a low speed and then gradually increase the speed. You will see eventually that the batter is starting to become pale and it is doubled in volume, so that's exactly what you want, very fluffy eggs. And again, as always, once it has stopped mixing, scrape the sides of your bowl. Always scrape the sides of your bowl. Do not miss this step out. Next, it's time to add in the flour. I am using plain flour. I actually avoid using self-raising flour. I just don't like to use it because, I don't know, it's just, the recipe never comes out well for me basically. So yeah, I always use plain flour, and that is something that I would recommend you to use. In that I added in the baking soda, baking powder and salt. Now when you mix in flour, always mix on a low speed, like the lowest setting, and then gradually increase the speed. There has been so many times where I've been flour bombed and yeah, it's the worst. Next, I'm adding in some chocolate chunks, which I chopped myself. This is a mixture of milk chocolate chunks and white chocolate chunks, and then I also add some Kinder chocolate chunks to that. Sometimes in the voiceover, my voice literally starts to break, so I'm really sorry about that, guys. But yeah, once you've added in the chocolate, just mix it with a spatula and take your time, and eventually everything will be combined and you will have the most perfect cookie dough ever. I always like to use an ice cream scoop when I'm making my cookie dough ball, so I flatten this into the palm of my hands and then add in the Kinder chocolate piece. And then I basically seal the cookie dough into a ball, and then I will just continuously roll it until you have a nice round ball. This recipe gives you 9 cookie dough balls, which is basically the perfect amount. For me anyway, it's the perfect amount for my family. If you do have a larger family, then of course you can double the recipe, make more cookie doughs. Even if you're selling this as a business, like you can just double the recipe or triple the recipe. But this specific recipe and the measurements, it gives you 9 cookies. And also I have listed the full ingredients for you in the description box below in both cup and grams. So yeah, everyone can benefit from this recipe. And I do apologize for the way this has been filmed, because I obviously filmed it vertically because it was from TikTok, so I did have to crop it into the YouTube format just to make it more aesthetically pleasing. But yeah, hope that wasn't a problem. Before baking the cookies, I froze them for at least 20 minutes and then I evenly spaced it out in the baking tray. I used 2 baking trays, so in the first one I had 5 cookies, in the second one I had 4 cookies. And yeah, I baked them in the oven at 220 degrees Celsius for around 12 to 14 minutes and then drizzled some melted Kinder chocolate on top and then added on my toppings. Now one thing I will say is that this cookie dough recipe is a very good recipe in terms of you can personalize and customize it however you want. If you're not a Kinder fan, then you can add something else on top. You can change your toppings around. So yeah, I really love this cookie dough recipe. It's a great base. I do let the cookies sit for around 20 minutes before they are ready to serve. And literally, guys, you have the most perfect, amazing Kinder Bueno cookies you have ever had in your whole life. They are so easy to make. I promise. If you're a beginner, this is perfect for you. If you don't have a stand mixer, don't worry, you can definitely make this with a hand mixer as well. but I will say that if you to do this by hand, it's very hard because we want to use cold unsalted butter. So yeah, definitely invest in a hand mixer if you are a beginner, because it is very cost friendly, it's not that expensive, and it will do wonders for you in your baking journey. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, follow me on TikTok. The name is Yamzoha, and I'll see you guys in the next recipe video.